In this video, we'll talk about how to find the equation of a parabola given the focus and the directrix. So I have a couple examples for us to work through here. Let's check out the first one. Let's say we're told the focus is located at the following coordinates: 6, -4. Let's say we're told that the directrix is located at the line y is equal to -7. Well, when we're doing these types of problems, it helps if we can visualize this situation. So the focus is 6, -4. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's our focus right here. We'll label that F. That's 6, -4. Now we're told that the directrix is located at y is equal to -7. So if we come down here, 5, 6, 7, we'll extend our graph. So the directrix, remember, that's a line. It's not a point. So this line, we're told, is y is equal to -7. So remember, the vertex is located directly between the focus and the directrix. So the vertex is going to be somewhere over here. Let's call it V. And remember that it always opens up towards the focus. So it will open up like this. So we know that this parabola opens up, so we'll be focusing on this equation right here, the first equation. The x minus h squared is equal to 4p times y minus k. So we need to figure out what is h, what is p, and what is k. Well, the vertex of this particular equation will have the coordinates h, comma k. So how can we figure out what is h and what is k? Well, h is the x coordinate, and we know that that will be the exact same x coordinate as the focus. So we know that h will be equal to k. H will be equal to 6. To figure out what k is, we just need to know that the vertex is directly in between the focus and the directrix. Or in other words, the y coordinate will be directly in the middle of -4 and -7. So what's directly in between those two? Well, we could do -4 plus -7 divided by 2. So find the average between those two values. So -4 plus -7, that's -11 over 2. Or if you'd like to think of it as -5.5, you can think of it that way too. So we'll write -11 halves. So our vertex is located at the point 6, -11 halves. So the only value we're missing now to write this equation is this p. So p is the distance between the vertex and the focus. Or in other words, what do we have to add to the vertex to get to the focus? Well, we know that the vertex has these coordinates, 6, -11 halves. So how can we get to the y coordinate of -4? So if we want to think of -11 halves as -5.5, how can we go from -5.5 to -4? Well, we'd have to add 1.5. Or if you'd like to think of it in terms of fractions, we can say 3 halves. So p is going to be equal to 3 halves. So we have everything that we need to write this equation of this parabola. So let's do that. We have x minus h. So h we found was 6. X minus 6 squared is equal to 4 times p. P we said was 3 halves. And then we have y minus k. So k is -11 halves. So y minus -11 halves, we can write that as y plus 11 halves. So we just need to simplify this part of the equation right here. So our final solution will be x minus 6 squared is equal to, if we multiply straight across, 4 times 3, that's 12. So we'll get 12 over 2, which is 6. So 6 times y plus 11 halves. And that will be our final answer. That is the equation of this parabola. Okay, let's try one more example. Let's say we're told that the focus is located at -3, 5, and the directrix is the line x is equal to -7. How can we find the equation of this parabola? So once again, it helps if we can visualize this situation. So the focus is -3, 5. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our focus is right here. We'll label it F. And the directrix is x is equal to -7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here is the directrix. Remember, it's a line. X is equal to negative 7. So the first thing that we want to recognize is that the vertex will be somewhere right here, directly in between the focus and the directrix. We'll label that V. So the vertex always opens towards the focus. So we know that this parabola will open like this. So it opens to the right. So that means we'll be using this equation. Y minus k squared is equal to 4p times x minus h. So the first thing we want to do is figure out what is the vertex. Well, we know it has the coordinates h, comma k. And we're told that the focus is, let's label that, negative 3, 5. And we know that the directrix is negative 7. So if the vertex is directly in between these two, we know that the vertex has the same y coordinate as the focus. So we can fill that in. It has a 5. But how do we figure out the x value? Well, we know it has to be directly in between the focus and the directrix. So it has to be directly in between negative 7 and negative 3. So if we want, we can find the average of those two values. So negative 7 plus negative 3 divided by 2. So that's negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. So the x-coordinate of the vertex must be negative 5. Okay, so we just found the vertex. It has the coordinates negative 5, 5. Now we just need to figure out what is this value for p. Well, remember, p is the value that we have to add to the vertex to get to the focus. So if our vertex has an x value of negative 5, how can we go from negative 5 to negative 3? Well, we must add 2, so p must be equal to 2. So I'll write this distance right here, p is equal to 2. Okay, so now we have everything that we need to write the final equation. So we have y minus k, k we said is 5, y minus 5 squared is equal to 4 times p, 4 times p we just said was 2, times x minus h. H is negative 5, so x minus a negative 5, that would be plus 5. So our final solution we can write as y minus 5 squared is equal to 4 times 2 is 8 times x plus 5. This is the equation of the parabola.